Good.
Alright. You're starting recording?
No, I'm doing this for fun.
Oh, sweet. It's the audience. Okay. Alright. I have no idea what you're saying. Go ahead. I worked for a manufacturing company. I clicked it.
Oh.
That created fiberglass spray equipment and sold it internationally. The owners would travel frequently to other countries, and they made friends with a lot of people. One of the people that they made friends with in particular was the French ambassador. One year, the French ambassador decided that she was going to visit America. And while she was in America, she was going to visit our shop. I knew a little bit of French. So as soon as she walks into the shop, I walk up to her and I say in French, "Bonjour, je ne comprends pas le français," which essentially means I don't understand a lick of French. But I said it in French. She was amused. My point is that language is important, and citizen science can help. The citizen science is a concept that I was unfamiliar with and that I originally thought was somewhat ridiculous, because I grew up with the understanding that science and scientific thought and critical thought is something that's available to and beneficial to everyone, anyone. But I can understand the idea of giving it a name and providing enthusiasm to inspire individuals to contribute to group projects. Now, citizen science is a relatively new term that defines a very old concept, which is where citizens contribute to the society that they flourish in. Citizen Stone Age men made fire, and they spread that among their community. The citizen shamans studied herbal remedies and spiritual remedies and spread that among their tribes. Homeschooled, independently funded, the Wright brothers beat the government-funded, formally trained, officially schooled engineer Samuel Pierpont Langley in the race to invent flight, because the Wright brothers were willing to study and develop their own lift tables, whilst Langley made the mistake of assuming that the establishment tables were correct. The citizens are the largest contributors to science data and progress, of which formally paid scientists are a very small subset. But the majority of discoveries that have furthered humanity have been made by citizens and private groups that have contradicted and challenged establishment thought. Copernicus and Galileo were citizen scientists that defied conventional wisdom and were able to make significant and long-standing changes to global civilization. We would not be where we are today without citizen scientists. Now, specifically, language is a tricky issue for scientific study because it's the modern culmination of verbal and written expression evolved from changing culture, history, verbiage, grammar, and usage. It both changes and stays the same. The same words can be used for wildly different meanings. Take the Romanian word talk. Talk means heal, healed, holster, pen, frame, chop, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and more. The fluid nature of language has typically made automating translation very difficult. As Doug Arnold states, the professor at the University of Essex, in his chapter on why translation is difficult for computers in the book Computers and Translation, A Translator's Guide, part of the reason why translation is difficult for computers is that translation is difficult even for humans. Translating is a many-faceted skill that goes well beyond mere competence in two languages. Translators are often asked to do rather more than vocabulary equivalent translation. They're often asked to produce a text that is good in its own right. We all enjoy the fruits of and unconsciously contribute to the development and expression of language. It is because of language that civilization functions, and it is our use of language that influences slang, vernacular, definition, and even the existence of the need for translation by the use of a language other than someone else. But one mistake that many may make is in not recognizing that a universal language is largely unlikely. Americans speak English and American Sign Language. Indians speak a wide variety of spoken and written languages and Indian Sign Language. People who are both deaf and blind have to communicate using a form of tactile sign language, or Braille. So the need for varying communication solidifies the importance of effective translation as great. As the professor of computer science and engineering at Manipal University, Vivek Kumar Verma, states more than 1 million deaf adults and around 500,000 deaf children in India use sign language in their personal, educational, vocational, and social spheres. Now, how then can we contribute to the development of language and the easy translation of language from one to another? Imagine for a moment playing a game. But rather than just playing a game and wasting your time, playing of the game contributed to society in some way. Perhaps rather than playing a game of a crossword, you play a crossword comparable game that allows a computer to analyze your understanding and usage of language to develop its algorithms to make the rough draft that it creates of translations for translators a little bit more effective. Practicing citizen science has led to the creation of sites like SciStarter, which encourages individuals to contribute while putting very little effort or struggle in order to contribute. One can contribute to develop fluent understanding of language without actually having to learn another language. So determining what should be done should be very easy. According to SciStarter, the 4 common features of citizen science practice are that anyone can participate. Participants use the same protocol so data can be combined and be high quality. Data can help real scientists come to real conclusions, and a wide community of scientists and volunteers work together and share data to which the public, as well as scientists, have access. So if we can contribute to the evolution of our understanding and easy translation of language by merely playing a game, that's what we can and should do. Simply navigate to the site in the presentation, add the site to your bookmarks by clicking the bookmarker star on the browser, and play games for science. We can easily take steps to participate in the development of translations so that fewer people have to say, I do not understand, or je ne comprends pas.